As we leave that conversation, we now take you back to Boksburg, where the ANC NEC has been meeting. Qaanitah Hunter is there. Party leader Cyril Ramaphosa and the Secretary-General Fikile Mbalula have both emphasized the need for getting party members on board for service delivery, ahead of next year's election. Qaanitah, good to
have it. The ANC Secretary-General obviously spoke to us.
Good to speak to you. Just bring us up to speed with some of the key developments from the ANC NEC's meeting from today.
Big focus on accountability here at the ANC special NEC meeting as the ANC prepares for an extraordinary roll call of its councillors on Monday. They are gathering more than 6,000 of its public representatives and regional leadership at the FNB Stadium in Johannesburg to give a way forward. And so what's happening now behind the doors, closed doors, is the ANC coming up with a national action plan as to what will bring about recovery in local government, which the President, as well as the Secretary-General of the ANC, has said has been deteriorating and has been a sore point for communities. Now, I'm joined now by Fikile Mbalula, the Secretary-General of the ANC. Thank you very much for joining us. What will be different about this roll call on Monday?
What is different is that we know the problem statement. We know our strategies. We know our plans. What is different is that we will now have an action plan which is consolidated, an intervention plan that says that things are happening here, and therefore, how are we dealing with them? If it is water, if it is sanitation, and all of those things, how do we deal with that? Within what time frames and so on? A lot of work is being undertaken. That work must be consolidated. How do we deal with issues of governance, where governance has actually collapsed? And then in most instances is where we actually govern, and also through the deeds of our own public representatives, what is expected of the ANC. So everybody doesn't want blah, blah, blah. People want action. The action plan is going to say, in terms of governance, in the following municipalities, the following things are happening through the deeds of your own people and the people you have deployed. Then how do you intervene? That's what the action plan is going to answer, not what is the problem. Where there is a problem, we understand. The action plan is going to say, here is a problem, what time frames, what intervention is required.
And what are the consequences that you like to see if those time frames are not held?
Where we have to recall people, that will happen. It has been happening, but haphazard. It will happen in a focused manner, and then informed also by our own barometer analysis on the ground in terms of the monitoring and evaluation we'll be undertaking, that, our problem is really leadership. So we need to intervene, and that's what we're going to do. So this action plan will be evaluated in terms of implementation after every 3 months. After every 3 months, we'll be able to give a report to South Africa on all municipalities. What is it that, as the ANC, we have done through our plan to improve service delivery on the ground? Now, we know the key and the main issue now in terms of local government is water. And therefore, water is going to receive now the same elevation as we did with regard to electricity. We're facing aging infrastructure, interception as a result of criminality and all of that. Equally, there's a lot of work that is being done, as you heard what the minister is saying, and therefore that work will be evaluated, monitored, bi-monthly on our part in terms of water crisis in South Africa.
When it comes to the protests that we've seen around water, it's been a long time because the water challenges have been facing these communities not for a month or for 2 months. It's been several months, in some communities even several years. It's an issue of dignity. And when we hear from communities, how do you then explain away the challenge of an old man who has not been able to wash himself for a week or two, or the fact that you have a an ANC representative who's selling water in a community in the Free State or in the Northwest. Communities, mayors are saying, well, there's no service delivery problems. It's all well and good, yet the community of Rustenburg have not had water. And so how do you deal with this issue of the humanity, and that people really are not angry at something that's sort of far away? It's just give us our dignity back.
Where there is a crisis of water storages and all other things have been fixed, it must be a genuine crisis that the government is fixing and dealing with it. Where there is corruption and our councillors are implicated, without wasting your time, they will be removed. Sugarcoating criminality and criminals working in our communities in the name of the ANC being deployed and wearing the clothes of being ANC representative, I can tell you now, it's going to be over with regard to those people. We will work with our people in a social contract to get rid of these criminals. And then we'll work with them the same as we did when we recovered the rail. We worked on the rail lines, we worked on electricity. We'll do the same in terms of ensuring that where the criminal element has crept in, and at the same time it is being assisted by our own public representatives, which some do, and nothing happens to them, we are going to act. But this action plan is going to enable us to monitor and deal decisively with individuals who are on the wrong side.
As a Secretary-General of the ANC, do you understand the anger of communities when it comes to water? Is this something that you have empathy with as to why people would go out in the streets in the way that they have?
I've been, as part of a citizen in Johannesburg, been affected not once, several times by water shortage, but I'm equally privileged in a better position as compared to people who go for days without water. It does happen, and I know that water is a human need. And that is why our starting point in the RDP, it was a basic need that we provided to our people. And electricity was basic, and the water was basic. So our own RDP and our own track record in terms of what we have done to provide this service to the people speaks volumes about the importance we attach to this.
Thank you very much. That was the ANC Secretary-General Fikile Mbalula talking to us about an important special National Executive Committee meeting that is taking place here in Boksburg, focusing entirely on local government, and will result in an action plan that will be presented to ANC representatives on a local level, and they will be held to timelines for those interventions to be implemented ahead of the municipal elections next year.